All right, Shalom, I praise Yahweh, Bashem, Yahushua, Bashem, Rakakadash. The Ba'ana said the apostles, salute you, brothers, teaching the word in sincerity and in truth. This clip I'm going to play is being shared around by brothers, different brothers out there, Great Millstone. And I'm just going to, I received it. I'm going to do a quick commentary on it. And it goes into just a bit of history on, Israelites being in the Roman Empire, which you had Israelites in the Roman Empire, like, and he actually says it at the end that Rome was it was a melting pot. So you had all types of different nations in their armies, in their societies, just like today. It's no different. So let's play some of this here.
What do you know about the Romans from being taught history?
Oh, well, I know Rome was not built in a day, that's for sure. Very good gladiators. I can remember Julius Caesar.
Well, it's really interesting you say that, because Julius Caesar is the individual, along with Cleopatra, which most people reference when they talk about the Roman Empire. And Caesar is also famous for coming to Britain. And a lot of people think that Caesar conquered Britain, but he didn't. So effectively, he came, he saw, but he didn't conquer.
Oh.
Now, the most important Roman, I would argue, who actually ever came to Britain was the African emperor, Septimius Severus.
Hold on. Let's just stop there.
Okay.
Are you telling me there was an African emperor?
There was an African emperor, and he was one of the greatest Roman emperors. So he was born in North.
There was actually, loads of, and by the way, he was an Israelite. We gotta put that out there. We've done loads of shows on this stuff, man. This is just a quick commentary on this, but there was many rulers, that were Jakes. Like you got, what was it, Marcus Aurelius? Septimius, various many. Jake were all up in there, and you can kind of tell, when you look at like the bosses of the Romans, there's a point where you see them wearing beards, man. And then obviously going into it, Jake eventually took over that realm. But there's so much information on it, and we've done loads of videos on it. We'll do more. We always so a lot of people know it's out. The truth is out there. But obviously in England and wherever, Europe, they're still not teaching that. But they kind of like. So this is the spirit. They've sat her down because we're in the end, man, and the truth's coming out. These people, you had you got Charlotte Sophia. You got people that are recognized as being, Israelites. They're not. We wasn't African. We're not Africans. We don't have to go into that. But you had, for example, they'll say Charlotte Sophia was a so-called black woman, but then they won't tell you that King James was. But they know, and there's history. But they did a good job of hiding this stuff, which goes into the prophecy of Revelations 20, which we'll get. Let's carry on.
Africa.
Yeah.
In AD 145, and he died here. Here, right beneath your feet.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing.
So
in York?
In York. This is where he would have lived. His bedroom would have been within 10 yards of where we're sitting, below us. Actually, I can show you what the family looked like.
Really?
Because we have a portrait here called the Severan Tonda. This is like a photograph.
Oh my goodness.
Of the Severan family. Are you ready?
Yes, I'm ready.
There they are.
Wow. It's amazing to actually see his portrait. It's a black man, isn't it? I always remember the Romans being quite violent when I was at school. Was Severus nasty?
He was a warrior. He came here to Britain in AD 208, got a message from the governor, and the governor said that we here in Britain are being attacked from the north and we're in danger of being overrun. The first thing he does is have them build the walls of Roman London.
Wow.
So the city of London, to this day, the square mile is defined by the African Emperor Septimius Severus. If you walk into the reception area of the British Museum, the first bust you see is a bust of Septimius Severus, alabaster white, but actually...
Let me pause it there. And you know, it's a big notable point of what he's going to say here. He's going to mention how this bust that you see, people walk past it and you wouldn't know that it's a Jake. Now, we know it was a Jake through the Spirit of the Lord and through the information, through the apostles, elders, teachers. And this is the thing. This proves what we're saying to be true. Because we bring out information, right? And what happens is we'll show like a bust or we'll show an icon. And someone will say, oh, it's only dark because soot went on it or something. Or they'll say, oh, no, that you know, it got aged. But now they're coming out and they're telling you what we've been telling you, proving that we're in the end, because the truth's coming out. When the scripture says the Lord will consume them with the spirit of his mouth. Now, you had Jake in the Roman Empire in positions, man. There's many of them. Okay, we could do a video going into that. So you had Jake in the Roman Empire that was in even when the Roman Caesars, you know, Edomite Caesars, and they were helping the Romans win a lot of them battles. Just like today, you got Jake in the military. There's documents called, and obviously they're going to word it like this, Jewish Roman service and things like that. Okay, so Jake was all up in there, just like they are today. You know, there's one documentary I was watching, and you know, you had Jake's, you know, Vietnam here and there, and they were getting with those females in these different locations. So you got children that might look Vietnamese, look this and that, but they're really Israelites. Going back to this seed, let's play on.
It was in real life, in the Roman world, it would have been painted as he was, a man from North Africa, a black man.
So no one would know that that was not a white man?
Absolutely right. This is a man who's there all the time. He's right in front of us all the time in the British Museum, but nobody knows, unless you dig into the story, that he was a warrior emperor from North Africa who stayed true to his own heritage.
This is just incredible. I can't believe I don't know about this story. And it's such a good story as well.
It's got everything. It's more Game of...
The reason why you don't know, and this female, she's usually on you know, a couple of shows on English TV in you know, in the daytime and whatnot. Now the reason why you don't know is Job 9:24, which I'm gonna get. There's a reason for that, because here it is, these scholars have knew this, but they ain't been teaching that. You know, she's a grown woman, right? How come in the British school systems ain't sat her down and sat any of us down and taught us this? Because that's not part of the agenda, man. Part of the agenda is to keep you away from the truth. Don't want you empowered, man. What if we sit here right now and we show you that, and we prove to you and we tell you, which they'll probably do it for another video, but in England, no, in Europe, okay, we ruled for a period of 1,000 years, and you know, and when you go to England, the Kings of England and all that, Scotland, all that, Germany, it was all Israelites. So that's what they've been hiding, and there's so much artifacts, even in England, but they hid. They hid, man. All right, let's carry on.
Thrones, the Game of Thrones.
An African Roman emperor ruling Britain? How did I not know about this? And Dr. Simon's got another surprise up his sleeve.
There's an amazing artist called Daniel Vossart who specialises in creating realistic images of Roman emperors, and he's created this. I give you...
Wow! It looks so real, doesn't it? That looks so real.
If you look at his eyes, it's like looking into the eyes of a real person.
This African emperor has just completely blown my mind. It's completely changed my idea of the whole Roman Empire. I so wish I had known this as a child.
The Roman Empire is a truly cosmopolitan mixing pot of people from all over the Roman Empire.
He's powerful. He was a warrior. You know, he led from the front. People respected him. And most importantly for me is he's really...
It cuts right there. I think she probably would have said he's really famous. Well, let's get one of these scriptures out here right quick. Sure. That goes into what a comment was made. Why don't I know this? Why don't I know this? So this is why you don't know it, right? Let's read this right here. Job 9:24. It says the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. So the wicked are ruling the earth. The wicked are in power. And what's part of the job of the wicked? To deceive. To have people to not know what the reality of life is. You know? That's why, oh yeah, by the way, don't you know that this and that? And that's why we've got to do the teaching, because they ain't going to tell you. You mean to tell me they've known this and they wouldn't put it in this? This ain't been in no curriculum in England schools. It says he covereth the faces of the judges thereof. So he covers the faces of the Israelites. Because we're not Africans, we're Israelites. So he covers the faces over and says, look, that weren't you. You don't have no history. You were just swinging off trees somewhere. But when you read the Bible history, you read about King David, King Solomon, all of that history, Moses, that was the Israelites, man. We ruled in the Middle Ages. We've got vast history. Okay. We can go on and on because Jake, we're in all these realms, these different empires and stuff like that. Notable people in history and that, but they won't tell you. So the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covereth the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he? So it's clearly clear who's doing this. You know, because that's why you don't know. Why don't I know? Why don't I know? Because it's covered over. They don't want you to know that you were the Israelites and you know, we ruled. And someone say, yeah, he's African because he was from whatever. But guess what, man? You had Israelites, and you've got Israelites to this day in the land of Ham, which that's what it is, and all over the world. How about that, man? You would have had Israelites amongst different tribes and peoples in Europe. Even amongst Japhet, you would have Jakes. So, you know, if here it is, you had Jakes fighting for the Roman Empire, and then they eventually took it over. You had Jakes scattered too. You've had Jakes scattered. You had Jakes outside of the Roman Empire, wild cats fighting against the Roman Empire with other nations and whatnot. You had all sorts going on, just like today. So you can't put us in a box. As a matter of fact, you can't put us in. We're known as a peculiar people. Try and put that in a box. Revelation 20 and 1. And I saw an angel come down from heaven, having the key of the bottomless pit and a great chain in his hand. And he lay hold on the dragon, that old serpent, which is the devil and Satan, and bound him 1,000 years. And cast him into the bottomless pit, and shut him up, and set a seal upon him, that he should deceive the nations no more, till the 1,000 years should be fulfilled, and after that he must be loosed a little season. So, the devil and Satan and this dragon is Esau Edom and his system here. It's him. And he was cast into a bottomless pit and shut him up and set a seal upon him that he should deceive the nations no more till the 1,000 years be fulfilled, and after he must be loosed a little season. So in that period of time, he was locked up. He wasn't in rulership, man. He was in captivity. And the truth. Let me say he wasn't there to deceive with how he's doing it now, like he's doing it now, like he does. And he's going through it right now with this deception, and he doesn't want you knowing anything. And that's one of these things that he doesn't want you to know. Alright, so we've done loads of videos on that. At this point, there's so much videos on the Israelites. If you've skipped it over, then you pretty much probably don't want to know. But now what I want to do, so I want to see if I can get up. I'm going to use Chrome. What I'll try and use is let's see, Brave. And I want to get, I was using that for the what should I put in here now? Give me a second. Damn. Edward. Now when you do this sort of stuff, you get icons, iconoclasm. You get all of that. But this is what, there's a pitch particular here. Now, just like he showed that image and he was showing you that, you can't get around this one. You can clearly see that Edward III, he's got an afro and he's got a beard. Pretty straightforward. Looks just like the septimius Severius. So we was all in these realms, and there's books to support it. There's the artifacts, everything. They were described as being suave, and dark skinned and all that all the time in the books, in history. But they just don't want you to know. We can, come on, man. Come on. So that was part of it, where it covers the faces of the judges are off and him. So that's why you don't know. That's why you don't. That's why she kept saying, "Why don't I know this?" Well, there's your answer right there, because they don't want you to know. All right. All the rest of these are iconoclasm, man. We can go into that too. I'll give you another one. There's loads. And these are just, they even tried to say, oh no, so they even tried to lie about Charlotte Sophia, as obvious as it is. They even tried to do iconoclasm on her. So, you can't get around this truth. Queen Charlotte Sophia. Look at that. Come on. It says Charlotte Sophia. So you got ones where, you can see where they're trying to get rid of the truth. But the truth's out there. And that's what they do. Slowly they'll keep going until they gloss over it. Until they get rid of the fact that it was an Israelite. Alright, and that's the point. Give you another one. And Lord willing, I can get back in the spirit of, it might be Richard II. I can get into the spirit of doing these shows. It was the second. It's gotta be. Wasn't him. Now this particular icon is sitting there in the Parliament building. Okay. So they know the truth. Now we've got icons for days, and we can go into it. And then at the end of the day, man, the Israelites, King David, King Solomon, you can't deny what's in your face. So all you people sitting there saying we ain't got the truth in the Lord Yahweh Shai, from the tribe of Judah, and he's not dark skinned, then you got issues, man. Because you can clearly see what we're showing you in your face. It's right there. Well, you can see it. All right. And I'm gonna leave it there. There's a lot more we can bring out. What we got here? 1 Thessalonians. Let's get it. 2 Thessalonians. Let's have it. Let's get to the point. 2 Thessalonians 2:8. And then shall that wicked be revealed, whom the Lord shall consume with the spirit of his mouth, and shall destroy with the brightness of his coming. And he's getting destroyed for all these lies. Number one, like we said, Jesus, so-called Jesus Christ, was a dark-skinned man from the tribe of Judah. Let's get this one here. So yeah, like I said, I seen brothers had shared this. Pop brothers been sharing this around. So I said, let's bring it out. I don't know if anyone else is. They probably have. Isaiah 25:7, and he will destroy in this mountain the face of the covering cast over all people, and the veil that is spread over all nations. All right. But if the scripture says that the people wait for the manifestations of the sons of God, so it's coming out with the true, the sons of the Most High. Okay, it's coming out. It's out. It's actually already out there, to be fair, and that's why they did that. That's why they're doing that. They got to do things like that now. It's called damage control, and the spirit just making them confess, whether they like it or not, man. The Most High is making them confess the truth, because they're overwhelmed with truth. So what the next stage is to try and demonize the teachers, because the teachers are the ones bringing it out. And that's why you have people, paid off dudes coming up trying to say, no, you guys ain't really the Israelites, or you guys are really Hamites, or you guys have got, or you really misinterpreted. Well, how can you misinterpret these paintings that are in your face? And you know what I noticed? And what we know is when Esau says it, that's when everyone believes. Okay? So all of a sudden, when they say, yeah. All right. So I'm gonna close it there. It wasn't gonna be a long video. And more to come on these topics, man. Lord willing, I can get back into the topic of we ruled England, but everywhere, France, Scotland, Ireland, all of that. With that, I'm gonna say shalom.